back to Basics Mom. So today we're going to do some scan and cut stuff again. And we're going to start off, we need to clean our mat from the last time we used it. Now I have not used this mat again since we used it the other day when we were starting out with our machine. So it's going to make a really loud noise. So we are going to wash off all those little bits of paper and stuff, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do it. So a lot of people like to use baby wipes. I don't often have them around, and anyway, it's just a personal preference, but I do have some at the moment. If I can get one out of here, and we use that first. You want to make sure they're alcohol free. People like these because they're lint free and they're pretty gentle and they seem to work really well. So we'll start out with this, and I'll show you why. I keep bumping the camera with my head. That's working pretty well. It just kind of depends what you have on hand and what you like. So yeah, that worked pretty good. You see all that muck on there? I oftentimes just end up using a kitchen scrubby. My mom makes these for me. These are kind of some oddball shaped ones, so I grab these for my craft room. I've got a couple of them. And you can see they're stained from scrubbing off paper. And so what I usually do is you can either use whatever you use on your stamps to clean your stamps, but I find that leaves a little bit of a residue. So I usually just have a bottle of water handy, and what I do is I just spray some on my mat to loosen that up, and then really gently I just take this, and I'm not even hardly pressing at all. So and then I'm just going to use that baby wipe to get some of that up. And what I also use, especially if I've gotten my mat really wet, is you can use your chamois to dry it off, because this is lint free. So as long as you don't have any like glitter or other kind of residue on there, I'm actually going to get mine wet, because it wipes off better if your chamois is wet. Hang on, I'm going to pause it and go run it through the sink. Alright, so I got it nice and wet, so it's nice and flexible now, but I wrung it out really good so it will pick up all the water that's left. And I'm just going to dry that off. And again, really light rub. And then yeah, so it's a little damp, so we need to let it sit and dry a little bit. You can see right here, I don't know if you can see that, I scrubbed a little too hard and got a little bit of residue on there. So you just want to be really careful about that. It's still going to be fine, but you just got to be careful how hard you rub. And I noticed a few stray pet hairs, which if you have a cat or a dog or gerbil, hamster, whatever, just know that their hair is going to get on your stuff. So we're going to let this dry, and then we are going to try out a few things on our scan and cut. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so we have cleaned our mat, and now we are going to try to cut out some images that I have stamped and colored. So I colored up these little guys. These are from my newest stamp of the month that I get from the Stamps of Life. They're called Elves to Stamp. They're just so cute. I'm in the lowest club they have. It's like $12 a month, and it's really cute. But I got these, and I just thought they were so stinking cute. So we're going to try cutting these out, and I'm going to show you a few different things. So I'm just going to stick it down, and I'm going to put it this way, right there, and I'm just going to press it down good. I'm gonna flip you up so I can turn on the machine. Let's see. Alright, so let's load our mat. And you remember I showed you just a tiny bit of downward pressure, nothing to one side or another. So you saw when I kind of got off to one side how it kinked. We don't want that. We just want it sitting in there nice and straight. I just kind of hold it like that, and then I'm going to load my mat. Okay. Now I'm going to check where my blade's at. I'm on about a 2.5, and this should be fine because I cut some other ones like this the other day on that setting. Let's see where my other settings are at. -1 for cut pressure. Speed is always a 1. That should be good. Like I said, I cut some of these out on the same cardstock the other day, so should be just fine. So let's go ahead and scan in our image, and first off, I'm going to try a direct cut. So with the new upgrade, it comes up with 2 options. I don't scan it in so it goes onto canvas. I haven't done that yet, so I don't have any experience. We're just going to use our machine as a standalone today. And we'll leave it on color recognition for right now. You can switch it from color to black and white, but we're going to leave it on color and let it scan. All right. I am going to see if I can zoom this in a little bit so you guys can see the screen a little bit better. So hang on and bear with me. Alright, that's a little bit better. So I'll have to move the machine when we cut again, but I just wanted to show you this. So now what I'm going to do is I want to bring this down as close in to my image as I can. And it used to just kind of grab it and do it for you, like before you were done. So I'm glad now that it's got this little okay. That just gives us a smaller area to deal with when we're messing with our images. So it looks like it scanned everything just fine, but I like to zoom in and take a really good look at it. Again, that looks pretty good. Let's zoom in some more. Alright, so if I just want to do a direct cut and cut all these out right on the edge, that's fine. We're going to go back and I am going to show you how we can just select one image if we want. And on that image, we can add a border if we want. Okay, I'm going to go back. Okay, so I selected the one image. I'm just showing you again. Hit OK. Hit OK again. And this box right here where it's got the little, it looks like borders, and this is where you choose how much of a border you want. So your first option, now if you were to scan this direct into Canvas, you could have your border be smaller. I don't want to mess with scanning it into the computer and all that. So we're just going to do the 0.04. That's the smallest outline we can get on our machine. So we're going to hit OK, and we can see that little cut spot right there. Now, I'm going to move this back over, and I'm just going to hit cut, and cut. We're going to cut out that little present. and it cut just about perfectly. So you can see how it's got that nice little border on it. Now the next one we're going to cut, we're going to have it cut it right at the edge. Let's see if it will let us. Oh, it will. I just hit back a couple of times. And now we're going to see if it'll let us just do the tree. It will. Well, we might have to hit OK. I want to make sure it's got just the tree and none of that other little elf's hat. Oh, it does have a little section on that elf's hat, so I want to go back. So back, back. Okay. Alright, it looks like we just have the tree now, but let's still zoom in. Yep, it is just the tree. Before I had a little black outline over here that I didn't want. So we're just going to back out of this, hit OK. I am not going to put a border around this time. I'm going to hit OK, cut. And you can see it's just going to cut that little tree. And we're going to go ahead. This one it did okay. It did miss a little bit of the bottom part of the trunk, just a little bit. But overall, not too bad, and I did not have to fussy cut that out with my scissors. Okay. I'm going to try something different now, and I'm going to go all the way back to home because we are going to do a little bit of an experiment. Okay, we're going to scan. We're going to scan to cut data. What I want is this little rocking horse right here. I'm going to see if we can get it to cut the inside of that. Sometimes I can get it to work, sometimes I don't. But we're going to scan to cut data and see if we can get that to work. Alright, so we are going to go back and just scan and cut everything in normally because I need to perfect my technique on the scan to cut data, and that image was so super tiny. It was really, really difficult to show you and even to see on the screen. So it is possible. I just need to get better at it before I teach you that. So we're going to go back to the basics and just scan in our elves and cut them out. So we're going to scan. We're just going to do a direct cut. Alright, let's bring this in. You can see how I've brought in that bounding box right around our images that we're going to cut out again. Hit OK. And we're just going to zoom in just to give them a good look. See, I always like to check because every once in a while something strange will come up, so I just like to see. Now, do I want to add the border or do I just want to leave it? I think I'm just going to have it cut them on the edge. Gonna hit OK, cut, and start. I'm going to check that everything cut. And it looks like everything did. And I'm going to take my mat out. This is the magic part. This is my favorite part. So when you have this, and I'm going to see if I can turn the camera back down here. And then I like to use my little spatula tools just so I don't mess up the edges with my fingernails. Now the mat is quite sticky because it's still pretty new and we cleaned it off good, so we just want to be real careful taking our images off. And there's one. And there's our little rocking horse. And our other little elf here. So, in no time at all, and my hands don't hurt, and if I wasn't showing you guys, I could have done that a heck of a lot faster. Now, if I wanted to take my X-Acto knife in there and cut that out, I could, but I'm just going to leave it. And a little gift. So there we have all of those cut out, no problem. That one's got the border, the rest I did just by themselves. And then I'm going to show you one more little tip, because sometimes you can see the little bit of a, I can get my light right here. Sometimes you can, that little bit of a white edge is a little bit distracting. You can see a little bit of white like right in there on your card. But what you want to do is, now I colored this with my Copics and I stamped with a water-based ink. So I want to use, because I stamped this in black, I'm going to use a black water-based marker. If I used a Sharpie or something, it could mess with your coloring and it could bleed into your colors. So you don't want to do that. So you want to use, when you've colored with Copics, you want to use a water-based marker. But what I do, and you can really see it on the tree here, you see how there's a few little like white bits. So what you do is you just take your marker, and I always go from the back because sometimes I slip. If I slip, I'm going to go towards the back of my image and not wreck it. But you just run this around your edge, and sometimes you can even come around just a little bit. You can even go in there just a tiny bit. And it just kind of takes that little bit of white away, so it's not as distracting when you put it down on your project. There. And then I do them all just because it looks better. But you just run it around real quick. You can do this if you're fussy cutting too, and it helps make your images just look a little bit more uniform. I don't know why I got that funny little edge there. Every once in a while something like that will happen, and you can just, I probably went out of the lines with my coloring, and the machine picked that up. So you do have to be a little bit careful about that when you're coloring. Some people cut their images out first and then color them if you're worried about going out of the lines. But you don't really have to worry about it too much. Alright. Alright, so there we have it. We have our cute little elves. And then I already made a couple cards with some of the other ones that I had stamped out and colored. So I have this one. I thought he came out so stinking cute. I just colored him with blues and greens and just used some embossing powder. And then the inside. And then I did this one a little bit more traditional, and I haven't finished the inside of this one yet, but I thought they were super cute. So, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you had a good time watching me. Oh no, I got my card stuck down on my mat. Oh no. Yeah, so be careful. Make sure you are covering up your mat when you're not using it, especially when it's new, because it was super sticky. These new mats are super sticky, which is good because their old mats were kind of a little bit lacking in that department. Anyway, here's all my stuff. Let me show you all my, oh my god, I totally bumped the camera. I am so sorry. I'm trying a little bit different setups and the camera tends to get in the way of my head. Alright, so here's all the things I've got. These are the ones we cut out today. I hope that was easy for you to follow, doing a basic cutout, and I will get back to you on doing the scan to cut data, especially we'll try it with a larger image because this tiny one was just really a little bit too tiny for me to show you to work on. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you stopping by and thumbs upping and subscribing and all of that. So have a great day. Find something crafty to do. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.